are you guys? Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Round the Hay Bale Tuesday show. I'm so lost. It's Monica. I'm Monica with Bland's Promised Land Ranch. Oh, Jesse and Lisa are muted, but you would hear them intro.
Yeah, we would hear us.
What?
Yeah.
There you go.
One job.
Doesn't. I didn't mute it. It did mutes by itself. How y'all doing, everybody? This is Lazy Dayz Ahead with Jesse
And Lisa.
And I'm Casey from the Halfway Homestead, and I'm kind of excited because I'm not the only person on the struggle bus. Because normally, let me just say, every time that Jesse and Lisa help us out, they're like the true professionals. Like everything is perfect on their end, and then our microphones are usually the ones that mute. So I'm blaming StreamYard. I'm not blaming Jesse and Lisa. I'm blaming StreamYard. But welcome in tonight, y'all. We are so excited to have y'all back. It's Tuesday night, so you know it's a live here on Round the Hay Bale YouTube channel, the Hey Y'all Hey Show. We are talking about our second episode of the limited series. Again, Jesse and Lisa are so great. They're gracious to fill in for Miss Ann while she is on family leave. We are all sending our prayers and loves to her and Worthdale as they go through this family time that they're going through. If you follow her, you know what's going on. If you don't, go ahead, click a link in our link tree, go over, subscribe, and follow them because they're absolutely amazing. We're sending our love to her. I did notice that she is streaming. It's on her platform. So it is live on Andale Homestead. So all of her fans, hello. We love her. We love Jesse and Lisa for filling in. But tonight we are talking about the second episode of our limited series, which is water storage. We're talking about water storage and purification and all those big words that were on our paper that I did not look before we went live. But let's go ahead and I'm going to put it over to Monica because I said hello to everybody last week and butchered 90% of the names. But I'm going to send it to Monica now. Let's go up to the front so we can say hello to everybody because we're so appreciative that y'all came in.
Absolutely. Okay. So hello, Mr. Joe. Fix It For You. How are you? Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. And Miss Tamara, L&L Homestead. Thanks for coming in. Hey, y'all. Hey. And we've got Miss Ann Philbeck from Virginia. Hello. How are you?
And I just say also, we just want to send some love to Miss Ann because I was on Andale's Homestead's Tuesday today and found out a fun fact about Ann that she helped Ann and Worthdale during their time. I don't know how much to say, but Jesse and Lisa, y'all know the better words of how to describe. We just want to send love to Ann because she is such an amazing person, and we got to shout her out a little bit more because she helped out where Ann and Worth were staying. So y'all say it more better than I do.
Oh, Ann Philbeck, yes.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She helped coordinate some things, right?
No, it was Ann Francisco.
It was Ann Francisco is what I thought it was. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm saying it wrong.
Yep.
Okay,
But still, Ann Philbeck, you're amazing, and we're happy you're in here.
And I try to get everybody's names right, but again, that's why we're having.
But you got the Ann right.
Yeah.
You got the Ann right.
Yes.
So that's a check for me. But again, it shows that I'm not usually in the lives a lot, but when I snuck in today, I did learn something new. But thanks, Ann.
It's Demoose 1829. How are you? Welcome in. We're happy you're in here. And of course, Mr. Bob, Robin Hood Homestead, welcome in. We're glad you're here. It all adds up. And thanks for coming in. We're happy to see you.
Joey, Fix It For You.
Are you scrolling, Casey? Oh, there's Joe.
Yeah, Rebecca Touched by Yarn.
Oh, there you go.
And there's Barry.
Welcome in. How are you? Glad to see you.
The Bud
Eric's
Files.
in here. Barry's in here. Hello. There's Tamara. Barry, Lynette Lawrence. Thanks for coming. The storms are brewing and my knees are killing me. I get it, girl. Man, and them storms come in. They come in hard. Hey there, Mr. Troy Sutton. How are you? Glad to see you in here. Miss Nanny Tam's in here. I'm so glad you're here. The Bud Files. Welcome in. Hello. Did you say Rebecca Touched by Yarn's in here? I'm glad to see you in here, Miss Rebecca. Oh, Douglas is in here. Check your pockets. Douglas. Wait, who did you say that was again?
Scotty.
That is Scotty. That's
Long
right.
Scotty.
Check your pockets, Douglas. Scotty's in here. That's awesome. Eric said the butter did it with a wrench in the conservatory. The big mystery. Kathy F. Hello from Wisconsin. Welcome in. The Wickershire Project Off Grid. Welcome in. Glad to see you in here. I'm hoping we got everybody. If we didn't shout you out, make sure you say hello. And we want to see you. Oh, there you go. There's no fun, Christine. She's in South Dakota. That's awesome.
She's in South Dakota.
That's only at Bland's Promised Land Ranch where she's no fun. Everywhere else, she's fun.
She's absolutely fun. She's only fun when she comes in. She's only no fun when she comes into our channel, actually.
Right.
Otherwise, she's super fun. I've met her. She's amazing. So, yeah, if we haven't asked
everybody. Again, I'm about as good as clicking everybody as I was pronouncing names last week. So,
current running on 5G. We just lost power. Might be in and out tonight. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Everything's going good over there, Mr. Bob. It looks like a lot of people are getting really bad weather. So, if you're one of those people still getting bad weather and all the flooding that's happening, there is flooding in New York subways.
New Jersey.
In the subway.
New Jersey is so bad, y'all. This is wild. Oh, there's Lone Cross Scotty. Yes, that's much better, Scotty. Hey, Mr. James Hall is in here too. Yeah, this is crazy, crazy weather.
How close is that to Maryland?
New Jersey? It's
New Jersey.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Well, then Maryland's probably getting a lot of water too then.
They were getting some water the other day, and I think it kind of goes north. Yeah. We used to, when we lived in Maryland, we called our New Jersey the armpit of America.
Oh, no.
No, when we used to shoot our podcast, we used to always make fun of Monica because sometimes her Maryland would come out as we were shooting. So she was like, that's really bad.
Oh, Melinda Dobson, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. Hey, y'all. So, yeah, it's bad weather everywhere. But, you know, with all that water comes water catchment. Now, I mean, look, people are getting flooding, and that's for real. Mm-hmm. But we got some nasty rain the other day. It came in really fast. I did not expect it. Mr. Treasure Hunter Neil, hello. And I tell you what, I was pretty happy, though, because they had just emptied one of my big water catchment water totes. And that means we be filling it back up. So I was very happy that we got the rain that we did. And I didn't even have to water my garden the past couple of days because we've been getting enough rain off and on. It's wild.
Yes, we just got some rain in Georgia. So I guess I could say I'm jealous, but I don't want to say too jealous, especially because of all the flooding that's happening. But we got a little bit of rain. I got like maybe an inch in my water catchment tubs. So
ooh, nice.
Ballin'.
Well, ours is flooded.
Is it flooded? Is it overflowing?
Ours is flooded. We've had lots of rain. We get rain about every other day here so far.
Yeah, it's been wild here. It has been weird. And I told my kids the other day, yesterday we were going to the movies yesterday morning, and I noticed that it was a thunderstorm. It was really overcast. It was really cool outside. And it's like 8:45 in the morning. And I'm like, you know, this is very unusual for mid-July. Normally, we're like pleading. We're like, please, Lord, send some rain. Like, we need rain by now. Normally, I have depleted several of my water catchments.
Drought.
The ground is starting to get crunchy normally by now. Hey, guys.
Cracks everywhere.
It cracks. The ground starts to open up and like swell and like plead for the sky to open up and give them some rain. And it is unusually damp. And I'm going to say
it's unusually green.
It is. It is very unusually green here in North Texas.
July, because normally it's brown. Texas, you know, we're further south than she is, and it's really brown about this time.
Yeah,
I guess we're getting y'all. I guess Georgia is turning into Texas this year, and like it was the other day, we were 98, feel like 104, 105, which for Georgia is like I'm talking to Monica over the phone. Because we don't usually get that hot and no rain. But we got a little bit of rain today. So blessed.
You know what? I don't even want to hear it because like 3 weeks ago, you were like, I must live in Seattle. There's so much rain here. I can barely, I'm like, I'm swampy. It's nasty. And now you're like, it's dry like Texas. Get out of here.
Let me tell you, we joked about it because I was talking to one of my friends, and this one of my friends actually listens to our podcast religiously. and was really excited about the limited series. And we were talking about the water storage. And I said, yes, I'm really excited. For most of y'all that don't know, we pre-shoot our episodes. So when we shot this episode, it was a little bit a while back. So I had time to actually take note from the episode and actually put stuff in place to have water catchment. And so I spent the money and I bought, 2 black 75-gallon. I got trash cans with these brand new little netting that you put over it so it catches the leaves, but the water go in there. I was so excited. Dry. No rain. Like the only kind of rain that I've got is I shot a video for YouTube and I was using my hose to show how they work. And I was able to fill half of it up with my hose. So I was complaining a couple of days ago from being Seattle, but God decided to be like, ha ha, you spent money for nothing right now.
Well, the thing is we discussed water catchment, right? So part of our limited series, we're talking about how to be prepared, how to, store up rainwater, how to store up your water in general. There are some people that can't do water catchments, right? Not the way like I have maybe, or maybe the way you guys do. But there's other ways to take water and catch water and then store water for long-term use, right? Or for later use, let's just say later use, right? One of the things you talked about, Casey, was canning water. And I think, Miss Lisa, do you can water? Have you ever canned water? You do. Because if you have jars already sitting there, why not fill them with water and put them up, right?
Well, but it's when you're canning. So I do these when I'm canning, pressure canning meat or whatever, and I've got extra room. I'll fill with filtered water. I use filtered water.
No, don't ever can and leave empty spots. You can put it.
Fill up your space with a jar of water. So I probably got 2 dozen maybe on the shelf in my pantry. Yeah, and I've heard of people also putting like a clean washcloth in there also. So when you can it that way, and then when you have to open it, then you have the sterile cloth, whether you need to wipe somebody's face or.
We talked about that because one of our older podcast co-hosts, Alicia from Country Mama Musing, that's how she canned her water. Was either, Monica, I can't remember if she used to buy a fresh washcloth from the Dollar Tree or $1.25 tree and put it in there, or if she would clean and put it in there. But we talked about that. Like, I would be so nervous that I would pick up the one cloth that wasn't fully clean and put it in your can, and it would kind of mess up the whole entire reason of why you're canning water with a cloth. But it is a good idea to be able to can water with the cloth in there for first aid reasons.
Yeah, and the water gets so hot also, and like Sandy was saying on the podcast, the water will get so hot that it just sterilizes it and gets the bacteria is gone.
That's the whole idea behind canning, to kill the bacteria.
Right. Well, I did after that episode. I kind of looked into, because I got really excited when Amazon and bought a still about 2 years ago, because I said, everything's going down. I need to make my own vodka. But then I thought you would think you could distill water through the still that you bought for not water, for other things. And so I didn't know there were so many videos on distilling water in a still, because everybody's really big on you shouldn't can, and again, this is what I saw on YouTube, that you shouldn't can faucet water. You should can like distilled or purified water. I think we had that discussion on the podcast, Monica, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
That Sandy corrected me that you don't really have to, because it got so hot. But I thought it was interesting that you can go ahead and get you a still, then you can distill your water and be bougie like me and can just distilled water.
Well, but here's the thing: if that's all you have, if all you have is tap water, then the city chlorinates the water. So, or unless you're getting it from your own well, but for the most part, if you're living in the suburban jungle like we are, the city uses the tap water. They use a lot of chlorine, so you can use that. But we use filtered water. We filter our water, and then we can the filtered water. But I mean, if we had to, we would do tap.
Yeah.
I grew up on tap. I drank out of a water hose growing up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm okay. I'm just fine.
Well, I wanted to touch on something. Someone in the chat, James Hall, I think made a comment that it's illegal in some states to collect rainwater. That is actually not true. It is legal in every single state. However, in some states, you do have to get permits. It's a few. It's very few. It's not illegal. It is, you need a permit or there are some restrictions to it. So you just have to know what restrictions are applicable in your state. But in a lot of states, there are no restrictions. And states that I thought used to have restrictions on rainwater. For instance, when I lived in Maryland, our governor at the time was, as I was leaving in 2014, he was instituting, or I think it was a year before that, he was instituting a water tax. He was taxing it's a rainwater tax. He was going to tax the water, the square footage of area that your water would like hit. So if you had a certain amount of like concrete area, like a concrete pad, he would like tax that area because the rainwater would hit it and it would run off and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, y'all, I'm getting out of here quick because this is ridiculous. But no, like water catchment is not illegal in any of the 50 states, but it is, it can be, permit required, or there are some regulations. So it's important to look and see what regulations your state has, or maybe your HOA or your specific community. But I mean, like with our water catchment, we put it on the side of the house. It's kind of off to the side, so people don't really see it when they come up on my house, but they can definitely tell that, we have it if you look. Yeah, he said, if you don't have the permit, that makes it illegal. Correct. But it's not illegal for you to do it. You just have to have a permit.
The process.
Yeah. I mean, like certain things are illegal, but no one's, it's not illegal to do it.
But what about them states? So there's some states that will regulate when you can use water. For example, during the drought season, they say if you live on your address is an odd number or an even number, you can water on Mondays and Fridays. If you're, vice versa. So there are some regulations that go into effect that are seasonal. That it's not all the time. It's just like during a drought season, or during, let's say there's a high risk of fire. They don't want you using up the water because they may need the water to fight fires and so forth. So it's not necessarily a good idea to do that. So you got to understand what's okay and what's not okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good thing to look into when you're wanting to start your homestead. Period. Like wherever you're wanting to start your homestead, you really should know certain regulations for that state. Like know what is in need of a permit to do. Like in the state of Georgia, especially the county that I'm in and I was in, you had to have a permit before you could burn anything. Whether you had a pile of stuff and you wanted to burn, whether it was on a wind advisory or not. If you were going to burn anything on your property, you had to get a permit from the county. And if they didn't see that permit in their system and they drove by, or somebody nosy, or somebody followed you on YouTube and didn't like your channel and decided to turn you into the county, that, just speaking from experience, that was what I guess we're seeing people are saying was illegal, because you had to have a permit. So know your county, know your state, make sure you research water, burning, whatever it is. Know what you're doing before you move to that state. So I think that's an important thing to touch on.
Well, and some states actually offer rainwater catchment incentives. So they actually offer incentives like different tax breaks or things. So if you are in like Florida or Hawaii, there are some states that will actually offer, they have programs that help incentivize water catchment so that you are encouraged to do it, because they want you to be able to do that. So yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. In Georgia, there's a regulation on rainwater catchment. You can only use it for outdoor use. It's a plumbing code, just so you know. So it's legal, but you can only use it for outdoor use.
I've always been a rebel. So
don't be drinking your harvested rainwater, Casey.
My face was in it today. So my 1 inch of rainwater.
But yeah, it's super interesting to, to know what's going on, know what's legal, know what's available in your area, and start saving that water, because there may be a time where you are in drought. And we're on a pendulum swing right now where we've got a lot of water here in Texas, but come mid-August in a month, we may be crispy and dry, and I'm going to be leaning heavy into my rainwater catchment for sure.
Yeah, I know Johnny Gillum over at Gillum Farms, his slogan is, we're 2 weeks away from a drought, always. So you just never know. But
Yeah.
we here in Houston, they have a water catchment program where they sell to the community, if you want to buy water catchment basins, or they're the big black
drums.
Yeah, you can buy them at a discount price. And they offer to any Houstonian that wants, or in the county, actually, anybody in the county wants to buy one. So we did, and we have it back there. We use it. Lisa uses it. It's got a nice little screen for trash and mosquitoes to keep the mosquitoes out. But it catches all the water, and it works great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know that one of the things Carmen does is anytime that she knows it's going to rain, Carmen from Jesus Loving Homesteader, because again, in Texas, you don't get a lot of rain this time of year. She will take every single bucket, bowl, pot, everything she can think of. And as soon as she knows it's going to rain, she will sit them right outside of her house and catch every bit of water she can. I mean, you'd think for sure that we were always in drought, but if you've been here for a while, you're almost always in drought here. And she's so smart with that. And she always posts videos of her kids helping her collect all the water. But it's smart, because in 3 days, you're going to need to water those plants, or 2 days, and you probably won't have water. And so it's good to be able to do that, because if you can save money from using your house water, the hose, that's really a good way to do it. My goal was to never have to use the hose to water my garden until September or November. I mean, I really shoot for that. In the past few years from my water catchment, I have made it all the way through the end of September into October, and I didn't have to use any hose water. I was able to go just with water catchment through the season. This year, I probably will overdo it. I don't think I'll be able to go through all of my water already at this point, because my ground has been wet enough that I've barely had to empty my bins.
Well, I will tell you that when you said that on the podcast about how you did that, and how you have the big mineral tubs in your garden area that your boys fill up, and that you try to use those before you use your water. And that was my main goal when I was preparing my little garden chicken area. I was like, okay, Monica says that her goal is that she doesn't want to use her water, whether it's well, city water, whatever you're using, your hose water. If you could not use that hose water for the garden season, you're already saving money, which then translates into the amount that you spend on your tomatoes or your canning. All of that should be in your mind when you're thinking, okay, I'm going to raise my own tomatoes for canned tomatoes. That price that you put on there includes the water. So if you can catch your own water and use that, you're slashing off a bunch of money for your garden, because to water your plants, it's a lot of water. If you would sit and actually use city water from, when do we start? May, April until September, and then check your water bill and see how much it increased from just a normal month. You would really be surprised on how much it does cost for water that you can get from the sky. Yeah. I mean, that's the crazy part, is you get this from the sky. So
yeah. Well, another thing, Eric comments in the comments, he said you would be better off learning proper filtration and have the ability to boil water. Boil cleans out biological filtration, removes debris and chemical. And I agree, there's a lot to it. And we talk about that in our series as well. We're going to touch on learning skills, tasks that you need to learn. As a homesteader, I do think we have an advantage, because than the other common people out there, because when you're a gardener, when you're a homesteader, when you do things on your own like this, you seek to learn out these skills, right? Hey, Glenda. And I think Casey has a water filter system, like a Berkey. It's like a knockoff Berkey. And a lot of people can do that. I actually bought all the supplies to make a homemade Berkey out of the safe, items that you can do that are, food grade or whatever. I have yet to do it. I want my boys to do it, but I bought enough to make 2 of those Berkey, filtration systems. I bought all the filters. I have extras. It's one of those things that I want my kids to do as a project and haven't done yet.
Now, those aren't instant, right? They take a while to.
It does. And that was the point. That's one of the reasons
Right.
why I really wanted the kids to do it and then learn how to do it and then practice seeing how long. Because ideally I could write on the side, on the side of because I bought the food grade 5-gallon buckets and we're going to use those, and right on the side of them, this takes approximately 4 hours or whatever it is to filter all the way through, or however many hours per gallon or whatever it is. I want my kids to know that, to be experienced in filtering that water so that they know what that turnaround is to be able to drink it.
I'll tell you, my knockoff Berkey, and I love my knockoff Berkey, has 2 of the filters. And you can buy the Berkey filters. They're just the same. Put them in there, screw them just the same. It usually takes about 16 hours. So at the end of the day, I will check the water level. And if it's low, I'm just going to fill it up and I'm going to put it right on, because overnight it will filter while you're asleep. But Jesse's right. It's not instant. Don't think you're going to collect this water and put it in this knockoff Berkey or a Berkey or in your water filtration system, and you're going to have instant water. Where you're going to do that is, funny story, I had a housewarming party when I was at the other farm, and tell me you're a homesteader without telling me you're a homesteader. And back when I was in the city, when you would go to a housewarming party, you'd bring what? Like a casserole or a pot of flowers or something city, suburban-wise. One of my buddies brought me a life straw. That was my housewarming gift, was a life straw. And that's the instant one. You're going to suck through that life straw into the stream wherever you're, and it filters all that kind of stuff out. So having 2 inside is a good thing to have. Having your knockoff Berkey, but I also recommend having a life straw just in case, because you can store those wherever, put them in your silverware. They're small. I should have brought them.
We have one of those life straws. We have several of them. We have some of the knockoff brands, and we have different ones, and we have enough for every family member to have one. And of course, the kids want to try everything that I get. So, which I think is perfect, because I think that if you're going to get something for survival skills or prepping or whatever, you need to know how to use it. You need to know how to apply it. And it goes especially for water, because water is such yes, James, exactly. Water is such a critical need when you are planning and prepping and things like that. So Susan in Australia, welcome in. So yeah, I think that's important to know how to use it, and to know how to filter your water, to know how to save your water, to store it. Is there anything you guys can think of that we maybe missed out on discussing in our podcast yesterday, Jesse, Lisa?
Well, I was just going to mention, like for prep purposes, not necessarily for rain and plants and stuff, but for prep purposes, there's also plenty of options on Amazon. I know one of the options we looked at, or the ones I looked at, there's a foldable bag that you put in your tub, and then it has, when you unfold it, it has the spigot that you can put up to the the faucet of the tub, and you can fill up your bag. So the water's not just open into the open air, right? So it's in this bag, and then you can keep it in that bag and check the pH of it, and chlorinate it, or you can use something to. I
guess that would be for like if a hurricane.
If a hurricane comes and you need water.
Yep.
And because, or mainly even like the floods. Whenever we had floods, they always say you got to boil your water.
Yep.
So if you're gonna get flood coming up or something you got to prepare for, start figuring out what you're gonna do to store water, because you can only store so much. But I thought that bag was a really neat idea. So then your water's not exposed, and it comes with its own little pump. You can pump it out.
Do we have a link for it, Jesse? Do y'all have a link?
I don't, but I'll put it in my Amazon store.
Are you talking about the one that fills up the whole tub, or are you talking about the squares?
No, well, the squares are good too for portable use and carrying around. But this is just to fill in your tub. It takes up the length of the tub, and it has the cap and the arm that comes up to fill, and it's
the amount of a mini pool.
but that's only if you're in emergency. Obviously, in emergency, you're probably not going to use the tub anyway. So. But you
I think about that well, there's a lot of people that live, maybe you have 1 or 2 people and you have a bathroom that you don't use. My dad lives by himself. He has an entire bathroom he doesn't touch. When only time anybody goes in that bathroom is when I run over there and I'm over at Walmart and I call my dad and say, Dad, I'm coming over. I got to go pee. And I run over to my dad's house and go to the bathroom, or I'm visiting him and I'm using it, or my sister's using it. Otherwise, he doesn't go in that bathroom. He does not ever use the shower. So he could easily have that set up at any point and then just fill that bad boy up with water if he knows we're going to have bad weather or whatever. And, we used to live in Maryland, so we knew hurricanes. We know how to prep for hurricanes. You always want to get water. And those are great. And I wish they would have had them when I was a kid, because I know my mom used to always panic about making sure we had a bunch of water. And I wasn't going to be the one to scoop it out of the bathtub. She was like, well, we need to fill the bathtubs up. We can use it to flush the toilets. And I was like, I ain't worried about flushing the toilets. I'm worried about drinking.
Yeah, but you still want to be able to flush the toilet. But the other thing I want to say is, how whenever you're preparing for a hurricane or a tornado that comes through or whatever, you're looking for water jugs, right? Everybody's looking, do we have any milk jugs laying around? Let's fill up. Well, on Amazon, you can buy collapsible drinking buckets. Basically, they're like the milk jugs, but they're collapsible, and then they're for storage purposes. And then when you need them, they uncollapse when you fill them up. And they're food grade. You can get as little or as many as you want, and they're easy to fill up. So hey, if you're looking especially if you're in a small house, you ain't got room for 30 buckets or 30 jugs of water, just to be laying around taking up space. So you might think about getting some of them collapsible ones. And they're like those Ziploc bags, those reusable Ziploc bags. They look like a silicone almost.
Yeah.
There's something similar like that, but they're food grade buckets. And I thought, man, that's a great idea for storing water.
I love that. And Xander made a good point. Xander said, that's why you shouldn't do cleaners in the back of your toilet, because that's a good water when needed. And I don't do cleaners in the back of my toilet because the back of my toilet in one of my bathrooms is completely open. And my cat likes to jump up there at night and drink out of the back because it's clean water. And she's like, this doesn't have any extra stuff. I guess the water that I put in her little water bowl isn't good enough, but this is fresh because it gets cycled through so often. It's super fresh. But I don't put anything in the back of my toilets because it just feels like extra work. So I mean, it's good water.
Question: how long does water last in those buckets or bathtubs? Well, actually, they'll last as long as you can keep them free of algae or free of any kind of contaminants. And so you'll have to make sure that you check the pH. Get your pH meter. You can check your water's pH, because it's supposed to be from, I think, 6.5 to 8.5. Anywhere in that range is safe. But
is there stuff that you can add to the water to keep it from getting slimy, or slime in the ice machine?
So one of the best ways is to have your water actually, filtered through some sort of a filtration device, right? But you may not have that. But push come to shove, if you had to basically shock water because you think it's bad, bleach works well. A little bit of bleach will clean up a lot of water.
And then you could use it you could use it and put it through some of those water filters. I just think sometimes the Berkeys or the other water filters are such a good idea to have. So even if you have that, let's just say it's been days and you've got that water stored in the tub, why not put that water through your Berkey or whatever, Right.
You could, and also, but push come to shove, if once the threat is gone, let's say the hurricane's over with, water lines are back in service, you can always reuse that water in your garden.
Yep.
Right. Just use the water. Exactly. Don't throw it down the drain. Just use it in your garden.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Look, I think we had such a good discussion. Yeah, exactly. Wash your car. Look, I think we have had such a great discussion on water catchment, water storage. If you guys think we're missing anything, which I love all your comments. The comments are amazing. I've learned a lot too. It's one of those things that I always like to learn new things and learning about how to save water, how to make sure I'm prepping water, and how to have it to be clean, not only for my kids, but also for my whole family, even for my animals, Look, my animals drink nasty water, so maybe not too clean for them, but needless to say, water is important. It really is. And it's something that we sometimes forget about. And then we think, okay, how am I going to do this? So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We're trying to keep it to our 30 minutes. We were over a little bit, but I'm really happy you guys came out here on Tuesday night to spend with us. Don't forget to come back on Monday. We drop our Hey Y'all Hey, Around the Hay Bale podcast. And we're here, Hey Y'all Hey, on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, right? Did I say the times right? Because I'm like totally not. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern. And thank you, Jesse and Lisa, for hanging out with us tonight and just, filling in for Miss Ann. And y'all keep Miss Ann and Worth in your prayers. Please keep her in your prayers. Go over there and give Miss Ann some love. Thank you, everyone that came in through her chat. We just love y'all so much. And we are so happy you're here. And we will see you guys next week. Don't forget to check out our limited series. We're on week 3 next week, and we've got plenty of episodes coming up, all kinds of really great information. And we want you to help us fill in the blanks where we might have missed. So until next week, we'll see you later. Hey, bye, y'all. Bye.
Hey, Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Around the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Ooh, we're really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time.